Hello everybody, First Month is here today with another knife. I would say kind of bushcrafty knife from company which I didn't know before, and its name is Wanger, or it should be a German company, so maybe Wanger, something like that. That's the box. Came in, and this is the knife. The name of the knife should be WOC, the second generation wood cutter or outdoor cutter. Sorry, I got a name. It's a very long name. Yes, outdoor cutter. So I don't even know if there is the first generation of this knife. I guess it was without the Jimping, which I found after that. So it is this knife. A little bit about the company. The Wanger it is not the Swiss company, by the way, which makes the folders, something like kind of Swiss army knives. That's not that one. And it seems to be like the trademark only. Maybe I'm wrong. If somebody got more info, please put it under the video. I'll be happy, because I tried to find some sources. It was kind of hard, so I just found some pieces. And what I heard also is just as a trademark, but actually the company which makes the knife or produce the knives is in Bulgaria. It's a Manly company. Manly in Bulgaria. It's southeastern company. They are making pretty nice knives made of some D2 steel. There is CPM 154 also. A couple of holders. I would say nice company for decent price, definitely, because the Bulgarian is kind of cheaper side of Europe now. I would say, I put it in this way, that will be better. And they make, as I heard, they make these knives, the Wanger knives, for the German company, which named their knives as a Wanger. I didn't find like original homepage of the Wanger company, so to be honest, I don't know exactly how it is, but that's what I've heard. I would say they got a couple of knives similar like these, 4 sizes, as I saw. So I said, okay, this is something good. I got a couple of another knives to compare them, my old knives, and for each of them there is a reason why I will show it and compare it with this knife. But anyway, this is the Wanger. It came, by the way, in the box with this, I don't know how you call it. It seems to be like a piece of leather or something like that. And you can use it, of course, to clean your blade. So it's nice. Okay, I'll start with details. That will be good. By the way, the price for me, and that's one of the important why I bought the knife, because I would say I don't need this knife, but it kind of takes my attention, because firstly, about the price. Okay, I had a different plan, but I put it in this way. I got a couple of knives here, and this is and I'll go back to this knife again. This is the cheapest fixed blade I got. I paid under $50 for this knife. Maybe in the US, of course, you could buy it probably for even cheaper, but for that money it was absolutely cheaper out of my stuff. So now this one become the second cheap knife as a fixed blade. Was important. I got here my cold steel Machina Hunter folder made of AUS8, and these two knives are in very close price, which I paid for that. So I would say the first thing why I bought the knife was the price. It was I saw the design and said, okay. Then I saw the price and okay, I got it, and we'll see. Maybe I will give it to my wife for some outdoor activities. We'll see. But that was the first thing. Okay, so the second cheap knife now. So that was okay. And what was the price actually? I tell you. Just the knife, maybe $90, maybe bit less, 85, somewhere between 85 to $90 US, which is not bad here in this country. I call it from the cheaper side, definitely from the cheaper side. I would find in this size and some materials, it will be hard to beat this knife for the price actually here. Okay, I'll start with specifications, then we carry on. Okay, weight. The knife itself weighs 177 grams or 6.2 ounces, or it has a sheath or scabbard, if you want, made of kydex with this kind of, let's say, tech lock. It's the largest model. Okay, maybe it's the cheaper. Let's see, you see how this one is fixed there. This one, well, seems to be kind of cheaper, but for the price, I wouldn't be surprised. But it is all right. So the sheath weighs 70 grams or 2.5 ounces, altogether 247 grams or 8.7 ounces. So it's from the light knives. I tell you right now, when I saw the knife very first, because you see the thickness, massiveness, even if the blade generally is short, and it's as we can see is in full flat. Yes, it's in full flat. When you grab it, you probably very finally realize it is lighter than you expect. I said, oh wow, I was really surprised. So 177 grams is very good weight. By the way, here we are. I got another knife which I said I would compare it with that, and it's this one, the PX Hest number 4. I did a review for it, comparable with the size, not with price, somehow in the thickness and in something else, which I'll go back a little bit later to it. But important is this knife weighs 200 grams, this one 177. So let's say 1 ounce light. This is 1 ounce lighter than this one, even if the blade stock, this is 4.8, I believe, and this is 5 mils or 5.5. I'll go to that. It's generally the same, so that's why I got the DPX here. Okay, and I got here another knife, so I go back to sorry, I'm going to that. This one, this Tops UTE number 2. I really like this knife as a utility blade. So when I see this one, that was another reason why I've always said, okay, it somehow reminds me in this knife, just somehow, not definitely, but because the price, this one was, I bought it probably for the same price or very, very close, maybe plus minus $10, this one as this one. So and I said, okay, maybe I will do something with that. I don't know, I really like this one, but I'd like to have this one larger, longer generally for all sizes. So maybe I'll do something with this knife, but we'll see. Now, what I want to say, so that's UTE weight 113 grams, 113 grams is 177, and in ounces is this 40, this is 40, and this is 6.2. That's just the for you can see this one, how this one works. Okay, over length of the knife, so complete knife, is 20.8 centimeters or 8.18 inches. The length of the blade, and now this is finally I found the knife, which you know I said a couple of times that I don't like these handle scales which goes too close to the blade, and then I don't know where to start measure the length, blade length or handle length. This one seems to me, if I make a line somewhere like this one, so the scales ends somewhere where ends the guard. It's not really exactly, but very close to that. So I call the length of the blade from this point to the very tip, and that is 9.5 centimeters or 3.74 inches. So let's say the all silver part we see here, that's the 9.5 centimeters or 3.74. Just real edge, so cutting edge, as we can see, real cutting edge is 8.8 centimeters or 3.46. So quite short knife, especially with the length of the blade. And handle, we got 10.2 centimeters. And important is, I mean as a handle, not this one, because nobody handled a knife here. So I took these measurements. So the space actually here where you really can grab the knife. So somewhere like that. And that is 10.2 centimeters or 4.01 inches. So generally, this is 4 inches, let's say. This is 4 inches. Quite short knife, that's it. It is not under 8, sorry, 8, yes, under 8 inches or 20 centimeters generally, but it's very close. Thickness of the blade is, that's nice, because I found in the advertising it is 5 millimeters, so 0.2 of an inch, but actually it is not. That 5 millimeters is somewhere here about, but here after the handle scales it is 5.5, and seems to me when I try to measure it here in the handle, it's even thicker. It is closing 6 millimeters, so quite thick blade, and I guess there is a reason, because of the steel. I go to that. So we got the thickness of the blade 0.2 of an inch or even 0.21 of an inch. The steel used for that, oh okay, I put it, these are the G10 handles. Go to that a little bit later. So G10 handles, great material. And we got these steel, I hope you can see that, 9Cr18MoV, if I remember properly. Yes. What I found about the steel, it is kind of a Chinese steel, kind of 440 steel. They said it's slightly better than that, so it's stainless steel. It is good for edge retention. It is relatively tough, but as a stainless, so definitely I wouldn't call it as a super tough steel, absolutely not. But edge retention, and generally for using for the price, it's very good choice. So let's say slightly better for 440C if somebody wants to count somehow. And in the thickness, that's why I believe this is the thickness, because as a toughness is the weakest point of this steel, what I found. So that's why they put a really nice thick blade stock on that, and it should survive something, especially if we take the length of the real edge, say 9 centimeters of real cutting edge. So even if we want to baton, which is the hardest using usually, we probably can't baton really big pieces. And I say if that will be something in 2 inches, so it will be somewhere like this one, let's say, that will be or should be all right. Plus it's got a full flat, so it's kind of wedge. And what's important else is if we avoid knots, so it will be not some really knotty wood, knotty wood or piece of wood without knots, or just with slightly knots there, it should be all right for that. Definitely, for me, it's not exactly good experience, and not exactly new experience. That's why again I go back to that Gerber. This knife is made of some 8Cr, and now I don't know, I'm not sure if that's 13 MoV or 15 MoV, I'm not sure. So slightly worse steel than this one, in stock 4.5 millimeters. And as I said it a couple of times, I really abused the knife. There is a hollow grind actually. I abused the knife, I threw with the knife, I chopped, I baton, and I did so many bad things with the knife, and it survives. So if that steel is something like that, so I guess this one should be a little bit tougher, with less edge retention and less less stainless, corrosion resistance, something like that. So this one should be better, but it should be probably less tough than the one. So, and that's why this one is a little bit more thicker. So it should be somewhere there. That's why I said, okay, it shouldn't be a bad choice. The hardened, recommended hardening for the steel is 58 to 60 HRC, which is there, as they said. So I don't know which one was that. So 58 is all right, absolutely for me. 60, yeah, I would be happy for the 58. A little bit less better because I like to keep the edge, the blade, even a little bit more tougher than the edge retention, because edge retention on 58 HRC for me is great. There is no any problems. By the way, this steel contains about 0.95% of carbon, which is generally 1095. So it has the same amount of carbon like 1095 carbon steels. So yes, it's good. We'll see, of course, how it will perform. So, but I'm glad for that if they put the name of the steel, what the steel is, because sometimes, you know, the Chinese say, okay, it's some kind of stainless steel or something like that, and you don't know what. They stay behind that. They said what is the steel. So I hope it will be all right. Don't know the company products and these things, so can't tell you more about that one. What I want to show you also, as you can see, there are screws for classical, I would say, on standard flat screwdrivers. So you can unscrew it. I'll do it here. This is one of the reasons why I bought why I get the DPX Hest 4, because it has the same feature as this one. So you can unscrew the scales, but I guess that you need to have two screwdrivers. Here not. I'm doing this one now, and here we are. Sorry. Okay. So here we are. That's why the knife is, you can feel it's so light. So this is the skeletonized version, and if I do this one with the DPX Hest 4, it will be the same, but these scales are a little bit thicker. So actually I would call it the pocket or space here is a little bit deep than on that one, and because the steel here, okay, sorry where I put the caliper. Yes. So 5.6 millimeters. 5.6 millimeters is the blade stock. Here 5.6, and that one is 4.8, I believe. So I check it out. 4.5, 4.6. So there is 1 millimeter more. There's 1 millimeter more here. This is thicker. So, and definitely the scales, the space in the scales is as I said, a little bit deeper. So I guess we got, let's say, 2, maybe 3 millimeters more, like on the thickness, as a sum for storage, more than on the DPX Hest. I'm not sure if that will be something super, you know. I don't know. I got I got a mini compass in it, and a couple of matches with a starter. So it is there. It's all right. But as I said, on this knife, you have to have, as I remember properly, 2 screwdrivers, one to hold it up and the second here. Here they did it more cleverly. That's how I say that. And as you can see, these holes are like D-shaped. That's why, or same as these, as this female screws. These are flattened, so you can tie it up just with a one screwdriver, which is great. So you got this one. Generally, the handle seems to me too thick, I would say, and the holding, it's kind of bulky. As you can see now, I don't put it now to the knife, but as you can see here, these corners are really corners. These are not, yeah, these are rounded, but very slightly, and same here even more. You can see it's kind of squarish. You can see it. So it's nice CNC probably. They looks even, but you know, we'll see what I will do with the knife. Definitely, I'll probably do some tests before I will do something with the knife, because I bought it, like, as I said, maybe I'll give it to my wife, as I said, and maybe I will do some work on it, so I'll use it in my play, what I want to do with the knife. You know, I'd like to always put every single knife into condition I really like. So that's the one. I'll cover it with this one. Put the one of that. It's great if you got a coin or something like that, you probably can do that. I'm not sure, of course, I didn't try. Sorry guys, I'm sorry you can't see that. One of them seems to me like one of them doesn't work properly, because one of those was loose before, sorry, so you can't see me here, but yes, so this one looks all right now. So one of them is there. See, the holes are not normally how to say that, the size simply is bigger than normally it is, than the standard, as I know. So I got another one. Now it clicks, you hear that probably. I wouldn't say, guys, I'll be happy to do that if I'll have, let's say, cold hands, you know, and these things, and I'd like to, let's say, start a fire and I got matches or something like that inside, because that could be horrible. But anyway, it is complete now, and maybe you can see the squarish parts I talked about. These, it's simply kind of bulky. But you know, the little play of one of the female school was that it wasn't like CNC'd or cut it off properly, but as you can see, it just when you hear the click, that was the problem. About the jimping, we got the jimping here. It's kind of sharp, you can definitely feel that, but I can't tell you now if it is wrong or not for me. So now I call it good, or it is good for me. But if that there will be a problem, then probably I will do something with that. About the handling, I feel on my pinky somewhere these are really uncomfortable, so I'll probably round it, because you clearly see this is flat. This is flat. But in the other hand, the G10, it is slightly, the steel is a little bit above the G10, but it is very slightly, and you won't realize probably. It's good. It's really good. About the spine, so it's probably made for Ferraro, because it is really in this angle, so you feel that how sharp the corner here is. So I am absolutely no worries if this one can make sparks. This one definitely can make sparks. That's great. How sharp it came generally, that's something. This is the original edge. Nice. What I found here, and maybe you see that, so that's something what I didn't see on new knife. I would say maybe never, maybe once. Somewhere here you can see shiny parts. I don't know, maybe you see that. Yeah, maybe now you can see that somewhere here. Yes, I believe, yes, you can see that. It's simply damaged edge. The real edge is damaged on the spot. I found it randomly. Now, yes, 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters is there is the edge damage. I don't know how it's definitely not by me. I didn't use that. So and how it sliced piece of wood. This is very soft wood, but with the original edge, I must say, very nicely, guys, very nicely, absolutely. Even with the 5mm stock, but it's all right. I'll try find how high this is the secondary bevel. 0.7. Yes, seems to me. Yes, 0.7. That's absolutely great. So it is more slicey knife than my standard. So 0.7 original edge, that's great. So this one puts the knife to the slicey family, I would say, or group of my knives. So short blade, of course, I say, okay, it should be slicer. But when you see the stock, you say, okay, yes, but it is slicer. And the blade, I would say, sorry, the steel used for that asks for that. As I said, this is more steel, more better steel to edge retention, coarse resistance, and stainless simply, and I don't know, no toughness. There are three things, but I can tell you in English. Sorry, I forget that, but doesn't matter. So this is not the toughest knife, definitely, but it could hold an edge very good. And they said they use these steels for the lower to mid-range knives for lower price, and I absolutely say, yeah, for lower price. If this knife will survive some, let's say, standard using what I normally do with my knives, especially for the size, don't compare it with this one, because this is Nylox and this is very tough. You saw that if you see in the video. But I guess this one will be very good handy knife for all this, because it's very light. As I said, you can use the pocket. We can even take off the skeleton, these scales, put some wrapping, let's say paracord, and use it just like that. By the way, as I said, it has the Techlock and Kydex sheath. This is the standard Kydex, Techlock sheath. Yeah, it's there. It's all right. It's usable, definitely. But the sheath is Kydex, and it clicks nice, and it's nicely molded, nicely from both sides. So I'm happy with that. But wow, guys, that is rattling. Oh god. So absolutely not something, and it's new. It's new. What I found also, when you take off the knife, you have to press nicely, and you go to that, see my thumb, because the corner here. So I don't see this angle the best for that, but generally I'm glad for that. I like this taco sheath for these knives, same like on this knife, this one, or even this is not the Kydex, different, but somehow this is slim profiled sheath. I mean this size than here, because if there will be these screws, the space, sometimes the companies would use this one, so you would, they say you would plenty of options of lashing, so you got these holes and you can lash something. But yes, this is such a small knife, and you probably want to lash something that and make the knife that huge. Probably you won't, on such a knife. So I'm glad for that they use the taco and pancake style. Even there is for me, this is too long for me. I would stick these two, I don't know how to say that, a little bit higher here, make this one shorter. And of course, we can see there are a couple of millimeters spare space here, which shouldn't be here. Even here, this one, you see the mass here. So I would say this sheath could be about 3 millimeters. I would say that shorter in this size. That could be better probably for that, and also for this size 3 millimeters. So generally all the profile could be even more better for carrying, if you can EDC the knife, which this one could be, why not? So if you can do that, it will be great option. I can do it for myself, but why not? But otherwise, it's good. If there will be no rattling, it will be better. But what to say about the knife? I'm glad I bought that. At the moment, actually, I don't know the steel, but for the price, absolutely great. So we'll see. I will test it, and we'll see what I will do with the knife next time. But maybe you won't see that forever, and maybe you see that in definitely new look, and we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a nice time. Bye.